I'd like to talk to you about our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and our Declaration of Independence. Is it really the truth about America, or is it all a lie? It seems like our elected officials read it the way they want to. They've never taken a history class. They've never taken a constitutional class. And the constitutional classes in the last century have been so left-wing, socialist, that they don't really learn exactly what the Constitution says since the beginning of our days here in America. Our Constitution says it's for the people, by the people, and we the people. But yet, the Congress voted to only say black people or half people. After saying they were nobody, you couldn't count them as population in the South. You could only count them as half people. And in the North, only half people. There were indentured servants working in factories, which was no better off than the slaves in the South. And the Supreme Court upheld it, that blacks cannot be counted as a whole person. So, at the beginning of the Supreme Court days and our justices, they didn't know what the hell the Constitution said? We, the people, that all men are created equal, that our government is for the people, by the people. No. From our city councils, to our county councils, to our federal government, to our state legislators, there must be a requirement that you take a class from the Constitutional Party on the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, etc. The Supreme Court deemed property tax was legal because they could not take your property away. But how many thousands of senior citizens have they sold their property for tax liens when they're supposed to have not been able to, according to the Supreme Court ruling in the early 1900s? The Constitution did not give the government the right to give income tax, federal income tax. Only the states had that right to collect taxes from its people, not the federal government. They were supposed to collect taxes from the states, not from the people of the states. But the Supreme Court couldn't read the Constitution and started collecting federal tax and letting the states and counties and cities and every jurisdiction collect their own taxes, like Columbia, Maryland. They don't call it a tax, they call it a park and recreation fee to support the Columbia Association, which is ridiculous, and it's almost as much as your property tax, I've been told, on your property. So you're being double taxed to live in that commune liberal city named Columbia, Maryland. I live in the ghetto of Howard County, the high crime area, but the police don't want to let you know about that. It's called Jessup, Maryland, but Elk Ridge, Savage, and North Laurel, all along Route 1, is a high crime area because they can easily get on 95. But back to our Constitution. Why did we say that no matter how they prosecute you, arrest you, jail you, put you to death, they're all immune to do it? They have found so many corrupt prosecutors in America in the last 20 years, and so many innocent people with DNA testing now. But the prosecutors in the state tell the people, well, if you sign a paper to accept a plea bargain, we'll let you out of jail after 20 years. Instead of saying you're innocent and going after the damn prosecutor and the judge to put him in jail illegally in the first place. How can it be so immune to do anything they want in the name of getting a conviction so they can move to higher office after they're elected state's attorney? They move to city or county executor or senator to Annapolis, or in the House of Delegates to Annapolis. They keep moving up and up, or Congress to the United States, etc. They vote for all these laws themselves. So of course, you know you're screwing people, but you're very nice about it. All your friends and relatives think you're doing a dynamite job fighting crime as a prosecutor and a judge. You're putting these criminals behind bars. I want to let everybody go free. It's better to let them all go free than to convict one innocent man and put him in jail on death row. Unless we start making prosecutors go to jail for perjury, falsification of evidence, withholding of evidence, the judge knowing about it, put his ass in jail for 20 years, make it a federal felony for federal prosecutors, state prosecutors, and county prosecutors, and judges, that if they circumvent the law to get a conviction, that their ass is going to lose their retirement, lose their pension 100%, and go to jail. And the people that they screwed have the right to come after them with civil lawsuits and take their home and everything else they got from being crooked in office. We need to bring back our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and our Declaration of Independence as the forefathers wanted them to be done. You think you got your rights now? No, you don't. With half the people being arrested, half the people in America can't even own a gun because they have an arrest record. Even if it's a misdemeanor, it's an arrest record. They're not allowed to own firearms. And a third of us with felony convictions now to shut us up or to control us because they want our property. We're in a redevelopment zone. And the Supreme Court upheld eminent domain, that they can take away your property if they wanted to make more taxes off of it. Where did our freedom go since our forefathers actually sat down and wrote this? But when they enacted it, they didn't know the scandal and corruption that would continue on after we elected a Supreme Court, elected officials, and started running our government after 8 or 10, 12 years. How many laws of immunity, how many circumcising the Constitution, just snip, snip, snip. That's why I call them circumcisions of the Constitution, because it's just a little snip here, a little snip there, a little snip there. And they slowly said, to hell with the Constitution. I remember Bush, when he started the Iraq War, thousands of people went to Washington to protest us going into Iraq. They didn't have a permit to congregate. They only had a permit to march. So he had them all arrested and bused to the old Redskin Stadium for illegal congregation before they could march to stop the protests against his war in Iraq. We need to bring back our Constitution for everybody. And I'm talking about everybody equally. No special laws for Jewish, no special laws for homosexuals or transvestites, no special laws for African Americans or Italians or Irish or anybody else, or Catholic, you know. Please stand up with me and let's bring back our basic Constitution. We need to get rid of millions of laws. So many laws that even my 4,500 square foot house couldn't hold all the way to the ceiling, wall to wall, all the damn laws this country has passed against people's rights and privileges. Thank you.